Yo, 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 welcome back to the MMA Short Show. As always, your boy, Stephen Moustaris. Hey, guys, I just did a video last week, going hard in the paint, against the UFC, talking about how Stephen Wonderboy Thompson deserves to get paid. Honestly, it doesn't even matter who it is. If a fighter signs the dotted line and agrees to make some certain weight, and his opponent agrees to make this weight, if I put in a 6-month camp, 6-week camp, 4-month camp, 4-week camp, whatever the hell you want to call it, all these long camps these guys be putting in, if I'm putting my ass through hell, and not to mention how old he's 38, 40 years old, like you can put that in there. But even if you don't, even if you just want to say any fighter, like you're taking that much time away from your kids, all these things, and you make the weight, and then your opponent doesn't, and the fight's off because you shouldn't take that fight. I don't blame you at all, especially at that age of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is. And like we saw when he took the fight with Darren Till, when Darren Till was overweight, he lost that fight because Darren Till was overweight. Like, it was a big part of it. So, I don't know, guys. I don't blame Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, but to not get paid, like, that is ridiculous to me. And then, of course, Dana White last night, after the Dana White Contender Series or whatever, finally, because he was on vacation the last couple of weeks, like, he finally comes out and talks about why Stephen Wonderboy Thompson wasn't paid and why he's not going to get paid. And, I'll play the clip here.
Wonderboy said that he wasn't paid for showing up. Is that something new in the contracts where like you don't have to make weight and get your show money? Or he also said that he didn't talk to you yet. So
right. So how that works is guys don't just get paid to not fight. It's not how that works. Guys have been paid. We've taken care of guys. Listen, if you come in and you're making short money, we take care of you. You come in and you don't fight. First of all, you decided not to fight. The guy was 3 pounds overweight, whatever it was. You get a piece of his purse if you take the fight. But if you decide you don't want to take the fight, we also offered him another fight. There's a much bigger story behind the scenes. And no, you don't just show up and say, yeah, I'm not going to fight. I want $250,000. Not the way it works. It hasn't worked that way for anybody. So what we do is we try to get you another fight. We try to turn you around quickly. If you don't turn around quickly, then we try to figure out, well, what did it cost for your camp? We'll reimburse you. There's a lot of different ways that this gets worked out. You don't just go, yeah, this guy's 3 pounds over, I'm not going to fight, and no, I won't take another fight 2 weeks later and pay me my show money. Not how it works. You don't fight, you don't get paid necessarily in the contract, but we always make sure that we take care of everybody, and, we're working it out with Wonderboy right now. It's all being worked out.
What the fuck? Like, you're going to sit there and say, like, oh, if he was a lower paid person or whatever, you said the 3,000, if they're going to pay 3,000, like, yeah, we'll pay him out. Why not? But when you're making $250,000 or whatever, yeah, we're not going to pay you, especially if we offer you, if you deny that fight off of 3 pounds, then we offer you a fight in 2 weeks and you say no, like, you're not going to get paid. And it's like, man, that's not even what we contracted. That's not, like, I guess I don't know the contracts like that, but like, dude, I've been in the sport for how long now? Like, again, that shouldn't even matter how long. It should be between your first fight or your last fight. If you sign the dotted line, you make the weight, and you show up a weight night or the night before the fight and it weigh-ins, and you make the weight, and then your guy was fucking slacking off in the biggest fight that he's ever had, and he decides not to make weight and fuck around and everything, like, and thinks he's going to, after already getting a handout for this fight, he shouldn't even have got this fight against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and then he misses weight, like, that guy should not get paid. The guy that missed weight should not get paid. The guy that made weight should get paid every single time, 100% of the time. He won that fight, in my opinion. In wrestling in high school, if you made weight and your opponent didn't, that's a win, bro. That is a win. Because guess what? That's still part of the battle. That's half the fight, is making the weight and showing up to the night of the fight. Like, that's a loss in my book. That's why I always like when Nate Diaz was always talking about, oh, I already beat Dustin Poirier, because Dustin Poirier couldn't even make it to the to the scale. Or, same with Tony Ferguson and Habib. It's like, what, they're 2-2 together, 3-3 versus each other because they kept pulling out. Like, I don't know, man. That is just so ridiculous to me to watch. It's like the president of the UFC sitting here and talking about this stuff like that. Like, why would you? I just talked about the whole Nate Diaz-Jake Paul fight. Well, I don't want to see the MMA fight. It's sad that we even have to see these legends like Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, fucking, Nate Diaz, like, all these guys, name all the heavyweights that you guys are watching going over to bare knuckle or, to other MMA organizations or other boxing, places. Like, why are these legends having to go do this stuff? Like, guys, these guys are putting their life on the line for the UFC to become a billion, multi-billion dollar company who literally is the fastest growing sport in the world. It's the NBA, it's the NFL of the sport, it's the MLB of the sport, it's the number one brand of the sport. And these guys aren't getting paid, man. Like I'm a broken record here, but it just blows my mind. Why would you want to fight for that? Like why would you want to show up for somebody that works like that? And don't get me wrong, I work a way less job than what these guys get paid. Jesus Lord, like, if I showed up one day for work or whatever, and I was sitting there and we got our job done and everything, and I don't get paid, and I did what I was supposed to do that day, like, you're never gonna show up to work again. I don't care who you are. Like that's the equivalent, and that's just what blows my mind. And it just so happens to make it way worse that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is, fucking 38 years or 40 years old, has been around for so long. He has one last chance at a title fight, and one loss is detrimental to his career. He'll probably retire. Like, and you're already putting it on the line against a guy who's not even proven yet and seems to never take things serious. And although he is on a 3-fight win streak, like, he hasn't, he is a clown. He was eating whatever. They were showing videos of him eating steak or whatever the hell. He was eating all these big, meals the night before weigh-ins because he already knew he wasn't going to make weight. And it's like, dude, that's so unprofessional. Like, that's not my fault to that guy. It just blows my mind. How wouldn't Stephen Wonderboy Thompson get paid? How wouldn't the guy making his first fight, his first debut, not get paid? How would a guy making a second fight, third fight, fourth fight, last fight? It doesn't even matter what it is. How wouldn't they get paid for that? Just blows my mind. And it's crazy to watch Dana say here, like, I'm never gonna shit on Dana. I love Dana White. I've never met him, so he could be an asshole, but I'm saying, like, what he's done for the UFC, what he's done as a promoter, you love Dana White. Dana White's amazing when it comes to that. Always putting on some of the greatest shows ever. Like, I all the respect in the world to him. But he also pisses me off the way he treats these fighters, man. And it just always makes you mad because I'm not an owner of a company or anything. I'm somebody who's always working their ass. I'm the one that's usually making the boss the money. And that's what these fighters do, man. They're making these bosses the money. These guys that get to go on vacation and sit on their ass and watch these guys get all this damage. But they're sitting there in the back reign of it, sitting on their ass, making all this fucking money, way more than what these guys are making. And it's like you're forgetting about who's making you the money. You're forgetting who they're tuning in to watch. They're not tuning in to watch Dana White. They're tuning in to watch Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. They're tuning in to watch, the first fight of the night. They're tuning in to watch the main event of the night. They're tuning in to watch the co-main event of the night. They're not here to watch the guys sitting on their ass, the matchmakers, and all these things. Like, man, blows my mind the treatment that these fighters get, dude. No health insurance. No fucking, no retirement thing. No anything. Like, you guys should, I'm not joking. If you put a career in like a Chuck Liddell, a Tito Ortiz, you go on forever. You go on forever naming people. Oh my gosh. Randy Couture, all these guys. Frank Mir, all these guys you could ever think of. Name anybody. Anderson Silva, okay, cool. Rich Frank, cool. All these guys that have made Rampage Jackson, all these dudes that have like paved the way. BJ Penn, Kenny Florian, GSP, all these guys. They should never have to do anything again to make extra money, especially if it has anything to do with fighting. The UFC should take care of these guys. The UFC should get these guys jobs within the the company. And it just blows my damn mind, man. And they'll drop guys like it's nothing. Like, holy moly. So, I'm sorry to get all upset about it, but boy, man, it's been 2 weeks now, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson still hasn't get paid, and he's not going to get paid. Like, come on, man. And I get it, whatever, $250,000, whatever, is a lot of money for not to fight, but he did what he was supposed to do. Like, why wouldn't you give him 100,000 of that? You give that out. You give, 3 or 4 or 5, $50,000 bonuses a night when you're fighting. Like, that is chump change for you guys. Like, and we're talking 250,000 for a legend. Like, holy moly, man. But as always, your boy Stephen Moustaris. Let me get off here before I get too hot. So, you guys have a good one. Let's go, baby.